In this plane, if you make a sound, you will die. This woman was on the phone, but the flight attendant snatched it and chucked it in a kettle, saving her life. The flight attendant kept telling the passengers not to make a sound or else the monster will snatch them up. However, the passengers do not believe it at all. This one dude mutters, "How is that possible?" Next thing you know, the monster's claws appeared and caught him up. The uninformed flight attendant prepared to repeat the instructions, but before he could finish, two people disappeared consecutively. All passengers held their breath and dared not make a sound. At this moment, the man wanted to fart. This dude tried to rip a fart, but it didn't go so well. A mischievous child felt uncomfortable on the plane and was about to cry, but the flight attendant appeared immediately, calming him down, which saved his life. This guy took his shoes off and put his feet up on the seat in front of this poor old lady. The stench was so bad, she had to cover her nose, but dare not say anything. Unexpectedly, this dude suddenly burped, and the monsters took him away. Human can stay silent, but what about pets? The man looked nervously at the parrot, standing on his shoulder, hoping it wouldn't make a sound. However, the next second, it screamed out loud, losing his beloved pet. The man was heartbroken, and was also captured by the monsters. The woman next to him raised her bag to show her pet, which was just a non-speaking goldfish. Just when they were about to take off, the flight attendant came to the aisle once again to remind passengers that this was a desperate journey, and not to make a sound. So, the question is, do you know why the flight attendant can talk without getting caught by the monster?
A boy took out a shard of glass while taking a shower, intending to cut his.
Come on. Get rid of it.
Since he was a kid, he's been dealing with gender, always feeling deep down that he's a hot chick. His mother was delighted by this, hooking him up with makeup, black tights, and a sexy little skirt. The dude would bust some sweet moves, dancing all graceful, but the father was very angry. He slapped his son awake. However, the boy remained addicted to cross-dressing. At school, he firmly believed he was a girl, casually strolling into the ladies' room like it was no big deal, but his classmates would straight up call him a freak. First day of school, the teacher kicked him right back home. His parents had no choice but to take him to see a doctor. The expert suggested that since he was still young, they should guide him to participate in male activities together in order to straighten him and make him more normal. So, his father took him to play soccer, video games, and watch Mermaid. Just when the family thought they had successfully turned the boy around, they were shocked to discover that he secretly watched postpartum fashion and beauty care videos for women. The man was almost knocked. After the failed attempt to straighten him, the mother threw away all of the boy's toys and replaced them with lipstick and makeup. Gradually, everyone in the family accepted him, and the boy felt it was time to transition into a woman. He expressed the desire to
Boy goes up in flames whenever he gets mad. His mom's gotta bust out the fire extinguisher to put him out. This freaky condition has been messing with him for over a decade, since he was a wee lad. Every time his folks wanted to give him a hug, they had to rock some insulated gloves. If they accidentally planted a smooch on him, their mouths would be blistered up like bubble wrap. But this kid's got a mischievous streak, always getting into all sorts of trouble. Not only did his toys end up scorched to a crisp, even his old man's newspaper and his mama's favorite skirt got fried on the regular. That poor mom cried herself to sleep every night. Whenever the boy eats ice cream, it instantly melts away. Afflicted with a peculiar illness, from the time he was knee-high to a grasshopper, this poor dude never got to taste the sweet delight of ice cream, and all the other kids treated him like a weirdo, avoiding him like the plague, to prevent their son from accidentally turning into a human torch. His old man stocked up on all sorts of fire extinguishers at home. The moment the boy got all fired up, they would douse him in foam to cool his jets. But as he grew older, this cheeky fella started pulling pranks. While his baby sister was snoozing away, he would sneak in and give her a head full of wild curls. And when his little bro decided to play with fireworks, he would even light them up for him. The family tried every trick to help the lad get back to normal. They filled up the bathtub with some cooling stuff and had him soak in it, but no dice. They even slathered prickly heat powder all over him, but it was a total bust. Then one fine day, he met his soulmate. When it was time to seal the deal and tie the knot, the future father-in-law was mighty impressed with the lad, but his own pops was so darn thrilled, he accidentally spilling all the beans about his son's peculiar affliction and the crazy roller coaster he had been on. But here's the kicker, the future father-in-law wasn't the least bit fazed. He grabbed the remote control and cranked up the AC, instantly giving the boy a heavenly chill. Then the girl showed up with a platter of ice cream. Strangely enough, when the lad got his hands on that ice cream, it didn't melt a bit. From that day forward, the two lovebirds lived happily ever after. Can you figure out what commercial this is?
This girl generates electricity from her very own body. She can even charge up her phone with a touch. A hairdryer mishap turns into a shocking experience for her mom, and her singing into a mic can lead to TV meltdowns. Whenever her emotions run high, her electrifying powers go haywire. Appliances fizzle, circuits fry, and whole floors black out in her house. Her father invents a smartwatch-like alarm. If her heart rate hits 120, it blares, a signal for her to step away from the crowd. One day, determined to help a friend catch some fish, our girl dashes to a secluded spot, racing her heart, dipping her hand into a pond. The result was met with her classmates' scorn, labeling her as a freak. This leads to a school transfer, where she's advised by her new teacher to blend in seamlessly. As she tries to fit in, an unexpected flying gecko turns the tables, and then this dude's hands make an unexpected landing, and then it toured that girl possesses an electrifying power. Say goodbye to electricity bills, because this gal's got the energy game all charged up. When it comes to school, she's sprinting away from her crushes, but what he discovers is truly electrifying. Her running prowess is no joke, so he recruits her for a relay race. When the handsome heartthrob takes his turn, our electrifying heroine finds her heart racing for more than one reason. As the baton passes hands, she hesitates. Then, like a lightning bolt, the baton slips. She snags it midair. There's a nosebleed in the mix, but the prize is in her hands. She crosses that finish line first.
2-month-old baby boy suddenly fell from a cabinet, causing his mother and sister to panic. They quickly picked him up and discovered that he had freaking wings on his back. After cleaning his wounds, they put him in his crib. Although the mom and sister were freaked out, they decided to keep the secret to protect the baby. A few days later, Ricky's wings grew longer. The mom tried to fix them with duct tape, but it was no use. Wings were small but strong, so she had to custom make a new outfit. Then, feathers started sprouting all around wings. To gain a better understanding of the wing's structure, the mom even went to the supermarket to study chicken wings. To prevent him from getting hurt while flying, mom made protective gear for him using foam material and bought him a small helmet. When the boy flapped his wings, he flew towards the window. Thank goodness for the protective gear. Boy only lost one feather. After his mom applied some medicine, he was good to go. The next day, mom took children to the supermarket to buy some stuff. He flew in the supermarket like a boss. People were shocked and started taking pictures with their phones. One old dude even cracked a joke.
Pour le bébé télécommandé, c'est où?
The mom pushed the shopping cart trying to catch up with him, but the little boy was too quick and agile. Even the FBI had to be called in to catch him. The next day, the story made headlines and multiple media outlets came to interview them. Their neighbors also gathered outside their house to see what was up, and some even started making fun of them. Even the doctor advised the mom to leave the boy for scientific research, but she clearly wasn't having it. When they got back home, a mysterious man appeared. However, the baby daddy who had abandoned him showed up hoping to cash in on the boy's newfound fame. After thinking for a night, the mom agreed with him. They tied a rope around Ricky's foot and let him fly, but the mom lost control and Ricky flew away. Everyone chased after him until they arrived at a small lake. Eventually, he disappeared completely into the sky. The reporters bounced, with no story to tell, leaving just the family standing there all bummed out. The family posted missing posters all over the streets, but that was like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Desperate, the mom went to the lake where the boy had last flown, and she waded into the water. Just when she was about to be submerged, she heard the sound of flapping wings and looked up to see the boy flying towards her. He had grown even bigger, with wings spanning 8 meters long. He looked like a real angel when he smiled. Mom kept apologizing to him, hoping that he wouldn't leave her again, but it seemed like he had no intention of staying. He flapped his wings and flew back into the sky, leaving Mom behind for good. Perhaps the vast sky was his true home.